بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقال الملك ائتوني به أستخلصه لنفسي فلما كلمه قال إنك اليوم لدينا مكين أمين قال اجعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض يتبوأ منها حيث يشاء نصيب برحمتنا من نشاء ولا نضيء أجر المحسنين صدق الله مولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Continuing with the opening verses of the 13th juz of the Quran, verse number 54, and inshallah if we can we'll look at verses 55 and 56 also today. As I mentioned last week with regards to Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam getting married to Zulaykha, the Quran has not mentioned anything specifically, explicitly that Yusuf alayhi salam married Zulaykha. However, there are historical narrations, and as a matter of fact, we are taught that whatever Allah Ta'ala has left vague, then leave it as vague. If something is not clear, transparent, then you don't have to delve into it. Did he really, how did he do it and what happened? Is not necessary. However, historical narrations have been mentioned that he did marry, in Durre Manthur it is mentioned that he not only married Zulaykha, but they also had children together. Fuzail ibn Iyaz, he makes mention of the praises or the words that were said by Zulaykha when Yusuf alayhi salam was given that lofty position and he was honored by the king whose name was Rayyan. Alhamdulillah alladhi ja'ala al-muluka abidan Alhamdulillah alladhi ja'ala al-abida mulukan bi ta'atihi wal muluka abidan li ma'siyatihi. All praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that being who would take a slave and grant them honor, grant them kingdom, grant them position, grant them power, and grant them a variety of good just because of their bita'atihi, because of their obedience to Allah Ta'ala. And at the same time she says, Wal muluka abidan li ma'siyatihi, and takes those that are in power, in position, from a very high and lofty position, but takes them down to the ranks of servants or low, or decreases them. وَتُعِزُّ مَن تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَن تَشَاءُ. Allah Ta'ala grants honor to whomsoever He wishes. وَتُذِلُّ مَن تَشَاءُ. Allah disgraces whomsoever He wishes. And she says, because of their ma'siyah, because of their sins, because of their wrongdoing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do this to a person. Yeah, that they take a person that's high and powerful and bring them right down. And she says, obviously referring to her situation in Yusuf alayhi salam, that Yusuf alayhi salam, out of his obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he didn't do, when he was enticed by Zulaykha, he didn't do anything wrong. And because of that ita'ah, because of that obedience, Allah ta'ala gave him that great honor that was afforded to him when the king welcomed him into the palace, and they made a big thing out of this. They made a big occasion out of the release of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam from the prison. And she says that how Allah Ta'ala made me look low in the eyes of people, because then everyone came to know that what the reality was. Zulaykha did try to seduce Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. And according to Durri Manthur, it's also mentioned that the husband had passed away when by the time Yusuf alayhi salam came out and he had got this position, the husband had passed away. Hence how Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam got married to Zulaykha. Naturally, Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wouldn't do something like this, where he takes someone else's wife away. I want him, it won't be like that Qadiani. Yeah, he told his friend, he says that, I've been sent special wahi from Allah Ta'ala. And what wahi? He says, no, you have to divorce your wife, and Allah has decreed that you have to give me your wife. I have to get married to her. So he says, no, it's my wife. I'm not letting her go. So he said, then I got some revelation or something to that effect, saying that because of that and because you don't want to obey, Allah Ta'ala is going to give you death before me, and then I will marry your wife, and you will see. And it so happened that he died before his so-called friend. So he didn't end up getting married to that woman anyway. So khair, Allah Ta'ala save us from desire of high positions. Astakhlisu li nafsi, as I mentioned last week, that when the king called for him, he says, bring him to me, I want to make him specifically my aide. And I want him to give him a special position. فَلَمَّا كَلَّمَهُ قَالَ إِنَّكَ الْيَوْمَ لَدَيْنَا مَكِينٌ أَمِينٌ. And when he spoke to the king, when the king spoke to him, when the king spoke to Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, right, he was very impressed. Yeah, now the king was told by one of the messengers or one of the people that were working there that this Yusuf alayhi salam, he knows a lot of languages. And now the king himself was very knowledgeable. Yeah, that just goes to show that a person in authority should be a person that is knowledgeable. Yeah, not just any Tom, Dick and Harry. Unfortunately, sometimes that isn't the case. The wrong people or the ignorant one get into high positions. And this is unfortunately a sign of Qiyamah. And if it's happening around us, and you know who we're talking about, yeah, then Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon us. Allahumma la tusallit alayna. Allah, do not depute over us or do not put power over us those people who are not beneficial to us. Make dua, especially at time of elections. Allahu Alam, who could turn up and who could become your next important person. So now he knew about this. The king knew that Yusuf alayhi salam can speak in different languages. And he wanted to see it for himself. So he greeted him. The king greeted Yusuf alayhi salam in different languages and said different things. And each time Yusuf alayhi salam smoothly, comfortably answered, without any hesitation. And the king was like, wow, this guy is really good. They told me good things about him. Yeah, someone tells you about something, whether it's some place you're going to eat, have some nice steaks, or you want to buy a car. Someone says, I've got a really nice car for you, looking for a car, it'll be ideal for you. And then when you see it and they say, wow, it's even better. When you taste that steak, then it just, melts in your mouth, That's what we're talking about. Even out of Ramadan, we talk about food. Subhanallah, we love food. What can we do? Sorry, a little bit of a sore throat. So, khair. Yusuf alayhi salam impressed the king once again. The king was overtaken, this is like something really amazing. So, innaka al-yawma, the king says to him now, for you today, we've got a special safe position for you. Yani, you are going to be put into such a position that, no one will be able to taint your name, like how it's happened in the past. قَالَ اجْعَلْنِي عَلَى خَزَائِنِ الْأَرْضِ. And before we come to that, say some people, when the king saw Yusuf alayhi salam, he brought a lot of happiness to him. But as the saying goes, some people, wherever they go, they bring happiness. And some people, whenever they go, then they bring happiness. We must try to be of the first category of people. Wherever we go, we bring happiness to people, inshallah. Be a positive person. He always gave off a positive vibe. That when he is leaving the prison, everyone is there, they're crying and they're sad. And they, we're happy for you, but what about us? We're going to lose out on the goodness. And that is the quality of a believer. That wherever you go, you have a positive impact. Yeah, whether you are meeting Muslims, non-Muslims, young, old, obviously now you don't only be nice to the opposite sex because now you want to be I remember Maulana said we have to be very nice. So only then is the right age person also now you're being nice to them. But otherwise, no. No, it mustn't work like that. Obviously, we have to be very careful. Inshallah. My apologies. So, Yusuf alayhi salam, wherever he went, positive. There was only good about him. His DBS, his CRB, whatever was completely clear. He had nothing wrong on his name. And this is how we should be. That if a DBS has to be done for us, for whatever reason it may be, must always come out clear. Yeah. Sometimes it happens that we become the victims of injustices. That's a different story. But as far as possible, a person should be, it is made mention with regards to Hazrat Abdul Qadir Jailani rahmatullah alayhi. You heard of him? Very, very great saint of our time. They say his neighbor used to party all night and he used to play music and he used to make a noise and everything. Till one day someone reported him probably for ASB, antisocial behavior. Now when he's reported him, police came, they arrested him, took him, put him into jail. Hazrat Abdul Qadir Jailani rahmatullah alayhi, it is mentioned that he went to the police station and he says, you need to release my neighbor. He hasn't done anything wrong. They said, no, we're not going to let him go. He's done wrong here. You know, someone's complained about him. He said, well, I'm going to stay here. And obviously he was known as the sage of the age at that time. People also knew him. Jazakallah khairul jazak. So the people knew that this is, you know, not just any old Mauli Sahib here. This is a Hazrat here, someone that's really valuable. And he stayed there until they eventually allowed him to go. So your neighbors, your behavior with your neighbors has got to be so amazing that even if they do nothing for you ever, it doesn't matter. Even if they are rude to you, it doesn't matter. Even if they are abusive towards you, but you must carry on being good. Yeah. You know, you heard the saying, the way to a person's stomach, person's mind is through their stomach. Sometimes a plate of samosas makes a big difference. Yeah, nowadays not just samosas, half moons, rishols, and whatever and whatever and whatever. Share these things, and inshallah you will find that muhabbat increases. We should be there that for the sake of our neighbors, not infringing on them, not being in their faces and constantly you want to go and visit them. Hi, can we come for tea? No, I brought the biscuits. No, it doesn't work like that. But with a respectful distance. Is there anything I can see, I can do for you? You can see that they're struggling. Maybe the garden, the lawn hasn't been cut for a while. You know this. They normally take care of it. Maybe they're struggling financially. You never know. Sometimes you think, you know what, I live in a nice home and the people around me, they own their homes and they're working. But you never know what calamity befalls a person. When we look at one another, we can't say that, you know what, I know that you are in debt. I know that you owing so much money. I know you owing that, or you've got this problem or that problem, or your employer has given you a hard time, or whatever the case may be. And we shouldn't seek to find out that information, except that we must be there in assistance. You can see they're struggling. Yeah, you can see they're going through some difficulty. Do whatever you can within your means and without making a big hoo-ha out of it. Without advertising to the whole world, oh, you know, my neighbor is suffering and you know what I did? I went out and I bought this, that and the other. Oh, you know, we had a barbecue going and I saw the neighbor's children, they were watching us from the window. And yeah, we were just smashing it. No. Be considerate of your neighbors. This is barbecue season now. Yeah. So while you're having your barbecues, be mindful. Just send a few pieces of meat. Buy a little bit extra. By giving that, inshallah, you will find your neighborhood increases. People must look at a Muslim and want to love Islam because of your character. Yeah. Not because of what you tell them. Not because Quran tells us to read Salah so many times. How often do we listen to that? Yeah. And think about it the other way now. That you want to tell people to do something and then you expect them to listen. No, it doesn't work like that. Your akhlaq is something that is extremely, extremely important. May Allah Ta'ala make it easy for us. So now the king says, right, okay, now we've, you've given this dream now, interpretation of this dream that I've had of the 7 years of good crop, and then 7 years there's going to be hardship and adversity. And it is mentioned that when the difficulties were put upon Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, and Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam had made a dua against these people that had caused the Muslims extreme hardship. Yeah, you know what was it called? Anyone remember what it was called? The economic boycott. Wadi something. Can't remember it at the moment. There was No. There was the name for it. The name for it. I can't remember. Khair. Allahu alam. Astaghfirullah. Allah forgive me. I can't remember what the name of that boycott was. If I remember, inshallah, I'll mention it. But Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam made a specific dua. That, Ya Allah, you make the grip on the people of Mudar intense and strike them with such, and unleash upon them such a drought and famine as you had done to the people of Yusuf alayhi salam. That 7 years of adversity. It was really hard. It was really difficult. To the extent that Abu Sufyan